right, hey there guys, how we doing? Sam here with you. It's Thursday the 21st of March, and we're gonna take a look at Bitcoin here. We've had a little volatility recently, so a couple of things to look at. But before doing that, as yesterday was the last day of this membership promotion giveaway that we did over the last 30 days. So this morning I'm here in this software platform that kind of does this for us here. And I just clicked winners, and I actually meant to do this live. I didn't know it was going to do them all three at the same time, but it did. So it just had a little button here to draw winners randomly. So from this, you can see we had 4,225 entries, and I clicked it. And so here are the random winners here. Now I'm covering their material, their information here, so we're not revealing full names and emails here. But congratulations to Martin. He's our first place. Halgi is second, and Craig for third. You guys, well done here. We appreciate all of the tweets and retweets and comments and likes. So Martin, 2-month free membership at Trade Devils University. Halgi gets 1 month, and Craig gets 2 weeks. All right, so there you go. Congratulations to you guys. All right, we kind of like these, so we will probably do more of this in the future. All right, so you guys expect an email from us sometime today to let you know how to access the membership site and all that information. All right, so with that said, let's get back over to Bitcoin. All right, so I've got this is a 1 hour of Bitcoin to the dollar on Coinbase, and I've just added to this. This is a set of median lines. I've got the SHIF modifier on here, so we're up 50%. Seems to be framing the market rather nicely here. Now I'm all back here to the December low. So we've got our whole year here. We can see in the 60-minute chart here. So some interesting things happening here. So I'm going to open this up a little bit, and we're going to focus on this section here, just so we can see this better. And of course, these are just here because we got to put them somewhere, right? So this is always the case with Bitcoin. It's tricky here. So it's interesting. It looks like we have a kind of a bearish below and bullish above channel setting up here with this set of median lines. Now, as for the Elliott count, it's not an easy one, right? So it's open to interpretation here. So this certainly can be counted as an impulse, right? It's open to interpretation, right? A bull's going to see an impulse, a bear is going to see an ABC. So as I'm a bull, I'm going to stay with this count here, but we will take a look at the bearish count, which is still very much alive. And it's hard to have any conviction one way or the other here because they both are perfectly valid. But for the bull count, we do have some very technical trading working for us. So if I'm going to use this is just ever so slightly the lower low here, which is why I'm using this. So from the swing low to this pivot, well, of course, we can see we come into the golden zone. I've shown this several times here. So, this would be well, let me say it this way. So we still have buy-side algos working with us. We have lost the sell-side algo because it's been broken. So here, with the break here, they just breaking it, going up to touch that median line. It's hard to know. But the point being that within this context here, we don't have a sell-side algo working against us. Now, it doesn't mean we can't go down, but that's just a point of reference here. So this algorithm here has got this as its target here, and we'll stay long until they get it or get stopped out down here. So as to where we are in an Elliott count, well, this is... Well, of course, as always the case with Bitcoin, it's never, well, I shouldn't say never, but rarely is it just crystal clear. So if for a bull thinking that we've got an impulse and we've done an ABC, well, your first problem, of course, is the C is not as clear and clean as you'd like it. Now you get down to a 3, 4, 5 minute, you can get a five waves into that move down there. It's not great subdivision here. And the symmetry is a little askew, but it's kind of interesting. So if that's ABC, there you can make a case here that this would be the 2 of this 1. So this down to the golden zone, even though we get a truncated C. All right, in a stronger market, that's not uncommon. So the golden zone hold here, this algo is still in control. Well, it stays technical. So coming off of this low, right, I'm just going to use the first pivot that we get here. Well, we hold the 618 here, so now we get target. So this algo has already realized its target here as it hits that as it hits the median line, it grabs that target as well. Well, just carrying on in that sequence, if we go up here, well, now we've hit this potentially here we've got this prior resistance offering some support, but I'd be pulling from the lowest low here, and you can see we've come down and just, now let me get, as we move higher, now that we have a new pivot up here to work with, I would imagine many of you have seen here just from the dominant low here, as this was technical, that we've come down, we've tagged the 50 to damn near to the tick, right? It would be very close to be, depending on what exchange you're looking at. So from the bullish side, you can interpret this as an ABC. Well, if that is the ABC of the two, what have we got here? Well, because of this little sell-off here, it's starting to look more like if this is going to stay as a motive wave, which of course remains to be seen. We've got a contender here for a leading diagonal, right? So if this is the one, we've already overlapped. So the alternate would be that we've got something along these lines. So 1, 2, we've put in the 3. We're looking for something technical here. For the 4, the 50 is prime zone, although we don't have any subdivision here. But if we were going to go up and complete this as a motive wave, that's not an unreasonable target up here. We'd be back to this median line, and note here we have the algo target in play. Now what's interesting about that is we'd be breaking this. Let me extend it. This longer term trend line here to get up and get to this target would be, so that would be bullish potentially here. So we could be leaning into that idea that we had an ABC, and then we finish with, all right, and this just looking at it, you can see the symmetry is already askew. So maybe from this is just our A wave here, and we get a little something, could go lower, or if we're going to hold the B, right, target wouldn't change. So be looking for a little bit more, well, how about some subdivision here rather than just a little bit more? Let's get some subdivision. Even here on a 60 minutes, just a straight rip down. But what's encouraging for bulls here is that we hold the key level here. So we hold the 50 of the tick. So we know, and given the bounce, that's high probability, you've got an algorithm just kicked in there to defend at the 50. They'll stay with it. So if this is going to play, we need to come out of here. You know, again, whether it's here, this would surprise me, or if there's one more push, even down to the golden zone, wouldn't be terribly outrageous. So, but the key is, do we come up here, take out this high, and get a clean motive wave? Well, it remains to be seen, because you can certainly interpret this. So that would be the bull count. So with that established, I'm going to take that off, and then we'll focus on the bear count. So you can't eliminate the idea here that we've just got an ABC. So you don't lose necessarily a bullish count if this is going to play as a correction. So one possibility here is we've got a WXY. So if this is solid as an ABC, that would give us a W. This 3 wave here would give us an X wave, and then we'd be looking for an ABC to give us the 2 down here, golden zone, reasonable target. So with that, so let me kind of construct that here. That would give us this as an ABC. So we'd have a W in. A, B would, come here. B would be here, and we'd have an ABC into an X wave. Now you look and you say, okay, well, is that technical up here? Well, the fact that we've hit this is somewhat interesting, of course. And then we just looking for a relationship here. I'm going to take the proposed W wave, or the C of that ABC, project from the B here, and you'll see this is just incredible technical confluence here, right? I promise you guys, it's not happening randomly. So there's from the A, B to the C, we hit the median line at 100% to the tick. Now reaction comes off of that. So you have technical trading here. This would be very common for the ABC to do an exact 100%. The median line is just a bonus. So if it's WXY, well, we're anticipating an ABC to come down here. So this little push here that bumps into this prior resistance may, we could just be setting up for something like this to get us down here. So if we're going to go ABC, this is an area we'd want to be looking for. Now coming back, there will be, now let me clean this up so you can see it. Okay, let's get that off of that. So if this is good here as an ABC into an X, well, we're going to look for something technical down here. So we've got a few things to consider. Well, first up, all right, we're just going to use the dominant. All right, so we've got some support as this comes down. You're potentially, well, here's the structure, would be at the 38.50 golden zone. No, now where's the golden zone? right here at the upsloping parallel. So this will be interesting if we're going to come down that far, and nothing says we must or need to. But if we're going to weaken here, and this is just a first test of the support, if we roll over, this would definitely be an area bulls would want to see hold. Right, so if we come down here and test this, so maybe this ends up, well, so, I mean, here we are here, so it would have to do something. You know, we could get 5 here. I'm just kind of free drawing here, but just to make the case, then we'd get something along these lines would bring us down here. Then we could go up. We'd complete potentially the WXY, and this could go deeper. So we've got some lower targets here. Really, anything from the 50 to 786 wouldn't be crazy. So we could go all the way down here, right? You'd like to see this hold so you don't lose the buy side algo, right? So here, there you can see here, this is where they started. Pardon me. This is where they defended. They start at the 50. They defend. They'll stay with it until this 65. We break that. Then they're just, if we come down here, if we get on the other side of that, then they're just going to take the next 50 looking for the move lower. So right now, but still bulls ball, even though the count here is a little open to interpretation, right? One, we have this truncation here, which you wouldn't choose. Then, interestingly, we get similar truncation here, on this level here. That we get a low here. So if this is an ABC here, ABC, it's interesting that we don't put the new low here just as we did. So it's not an easy count, and it's difficult to have a lot of conviction here because you've got equally valid technical cases to be made for bulls or bears. So my suggestion is it's not an ideal time for a new trade. If you're currently long, as I am, these are key levels. So the first test down here, we would certainly like to see that hold. But if that breaks, it will be important that we hold here so that we don't lose again, because this is our last low relative to this where we've got the whole year here. This is our low that we'd want to see hold so we don't lose that buy side. So if we come down here and retest from this action here, it would be important to see that hold. So we kind of hurry up and wait. I wouldn't be a buyer here. So granted, we just did a 50, right? I understand that, but you don't have enough subdivision here. So what is it? Is it 1? Is it B? Is it A? There's just no way to know here. We've got just a free fall into support and a reaction. We haven't torn too far from it, so that this likely could get tested again, right? You're going to have critical levels down here. Now, that's putting as positive a spin on it as I can for bulls. The bear count, of course, still just here, and we don't invalidate. Certainly we're gonna need to take out some of these pivots here that are just staring at us right here. So this is going to be important. We got to get through these, right? And then the big resistance will be up here, because if this is going to hold as a low, and nothing says that it will, but if we're going to come back up here, this is all the big resistance that we got to get through. But right now, this certainly wouldn't be crazy to see that finish down here. The symmetry would be much better, actually, frankly, sadly. If that's 1, 2, 3 into the 4, maybe that's 1, 2, or 7, 8, 6, could be hard to say. Right, until we get up here, this is our dominant pivot here, so something like that would not be bad symmetry by any means, and that would give us a clear, clean 5 leg coming down. It's kind of making some assumptions about where we are in the count, but if we're finishing an A, B, and a C, this level down here around 2 grand can't be eliminated here, so we got to be aware of that, which is why I would say there's really no advantage to entering a new trade here unless you're a very short-term swing trader. Already for scalpers, the bounce off of the 50 and that trade for a scalper is probably already in and out. But for a longer-term swing trader, you're just kind of in a hurry up and wait. We're just still stuck in this zone here, and until we get some of these key pivots taken out to give us a tell for where we are from an Elliott count perspective, it just remains essentially just in this giant range that we've been in. 30, 33, here's the range that we just stay stuck in. This 1,000, well, not quite. 3,300 to 40, let's call it 4,200. We're just stuck in this range, right? And now there's technical trading in that range, but there's nothing here to really get overly excited about. Now, if you're a bear, this ABC at the median line, that's you know, a bear's likely looking at that going, oh, the correction's in, and we're just starting on the 1, 2, 3, 4, and down we go. Yeah, maybe. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's see how we hold here at these key levels. If they're going to be tested, and again, nothing says they need to be, but if they're going to be, well, we're going to see how strong the defense is here, and then if not, if we're going to rally from this, coming up here to catch something like this, to complete this, so we'd get a completed motive, we'll start looking better for the possibility that we've gone 1, 2, and then we'd have a leading diagonal setting up the next 1, 2. So we'll have to wait and see. And there's nothing really here to say, oh, jump on it. Can't miss that one. I'm waiting to add until I see some reaction at some of these key levels. All right, so with that, I'll wrap there. We're going to do this is a traditional day, but I wanted to get this in so that we could announce those winners. And with this little pop down here, seemed a good time to get an update here. So with that, I will be back. We're going to look at a couple of traditionals as well today. All right, guys, talk to you later.